Question for you folks, maybe a trick question. What's the most space-efficient way to store your primary attachments? Your loader, your mower deck, your backhoe? Think on that a second. We're going to show you in this episode a simple way to store each of those items. Let's get started. Hey, let's start with the mower deck. You've probably taken it off a month or so ago and you've been tripping over it ever since, trying to figure out what to do with it. It's right in the way, you don't have a lot of storage space, you're trying to figure out the best place to put it. My number one item to recommend is the load and go. This is a set of replacement brackets here. Let your loader pick it up. Once you pick this up with your loader, you can carry it anywhere. You can hang it on the wall, you can do a lot of different things with it, just a lot of choices. So if you have the opportunity to get that, your world will be opened up. Now, some of you don't have the chance to get a load and go. Perhaps you might have bought a different color tractor, or you got a 54-inch deck prior to 2020. There might be several reasons why the load and go can't work for you. Well, I've got another solution to show you. This product's been around a long time. It's been solving this issue for years. It may not have a huge following. In other words, a lot of people don't know about the product. Well, we're going to change that. This is called the Deck Dolly. DeckDolly.com. And yeah, coupon code TTWT for 5% discount. This thing comes in a lot of different flavors. The flavor that I have right now is specifically made for the Auto Connect decks, 2019 and earlier. And so it's got hardware specifically for that. You can get this for X700s, for different sizes of Auto Connect decks. You can also get a universal fit. So there's different hardware for each style. But I'm going to show you the Auto Connect version because it is, well, pretty nifty. The first thing I've done is I've removed this pin. It's a pin that goes all the way through. Got a little key here I'm holding on my finger. Have to have that removed before I can start. Now I just line this thing up over my Auto Connect deck and I drive straight in just like I'm auto connecting my tractor. It's just a couple of bolts there. I drive right on in and it locks just like the tractor does. On the front side, this pin goes right through a hole that already exists in the deck, and I connect it right up. It's absolutely trivial to connect. The only hard part is coming now. These handles are about, I don't know, 6 feet long, something like that. It's a little bit heavy. I would say it felt like maybe 50 pounds, maybe a little bit more time you get, probably about 50 pounds. It's just harder to lift that much up at this point when you're my age and out of shape like a software guy like me. It's totally stable right now. Now you saw the rollers. You can roll it around anywhere you want into your shop. It sits flat on these feet here. There's really only one concern with storing your deck like this, and that is losing the oil out of this gearbox. There's a little breather right here. Sometimes, that's the fascinating part, sometimes this breather loses oil. Sometimes it doesn't. If it does lose oil for you, you can take this little breather out and you can get a pipe plug for it. I believe it's 1/8 inch national pipe thread. But mine so far hasn't leaked. So I'm not sure why some of them leak and some of them don't, but that's the only concern with this storage approach. So pop this thing up, and then if you want to roll it around, I just put my feet on the wheels. Now it would be nice if I could roll it without letting the weight get all the way back down on me, but I can't. So it's a little bit heavy when I can finally roll it. But when I get it down like this, it's entirely doable. Okay? DeckDolly.com. You can choose the type of mower deck, or you can choose the universal fit. If you don't have any sort of an auto connect, the universal fit actually grabs onto the mower deck here and onto the bottom side. So you can use that approach too. Hey, it beats tripping over your mower. I kind of like this solution. Let's quickly do a little bit of measurement just to see what kind of space you're going to require if you use this approach. I'll stick my ruler in from the back side here. It's like about 20 inches deep. I believe those handles are pretty much straight up with that. So I'd say about 20 inches total of depth. This is the 60D deck. Presumably you could fold this up. So that's roughly 3 inches more than that deck length. So you need about 65 inches this way for the 60D deck if you had this folded up. Now, I don't know if that stays within your 20 inches or not. Pretty close. It's actually pretty close, believe it or not. So 65 by 20 deep, 78 tall would be tall enough. It's about 77. It's about 77 actually. Yeah, so certainly if you had 78 inches, that's tall enough. Once I get it down rolling, it's not bad at all. Pretty handy. Roll it around in a circle here. Maybe I can run into you. Beep, beep.
Thanks.
Okay, for now I'm going to put it away right over here. Hey, before I go any further, I want to answer my trick question. What's the most space-efficient way to store your mower deck, loader, and backhoe? The answer is on the tractor. By far, there's no place more space-efficient to keep all of your attachments than on your tractor. Unfortunately, that's not practical. And we don't discover that oftentimes until we've got our tractor home and we realize we don't have enough storage space. But if you've got the time and if you have limited storage space, another advantage of that Auto Connect deck, right? Even though you take it off while you're doing your project, put it right back on and you can store it under the tractor. It works well. But let me show you another way to store the loader so that you can have a little bit more flexibility. For the next idea, I'm using nothing but inexpensive furniture dollies. This is the, I don't know, I'm going to call it the large size, and this is the small size. If you've shopped at Northern Tool or Harbor Freight or any of these, import stores, you've seen both of these sizes of furniture dollies. They're not perfect because the casters are really not very strong on them, but they're good enough for this job, so let's try it. I'm going to put the larger furniture dolly under the front, and the smaller dolly I'm going to put right here under the loader stand. The self-leveling loader is a little bit different in the way it comes off. I don't mean mechanically, I mean the way the bucket sits when it comes off. So it's, I think, a little bit harder to take off appropriately, and it's a little bit harder to position the dolly. But I think you'll be able to see that it works. In fact, it works easier with the non-self-leveling loader. I have an episode where I show this similar solution with the non-self-leveling loader years ago. But we're finding that folks aren't going back and watching our older videos, so I'm showing this one again. If you want to see how this worked with the non-self-leveling loader, you can go back to that older episode. I believe there was a playlist named Johnny Ultimate Transformer Toy. When you take your loader off, you need to make sure to raise it high enough that those latches latch back down on their own, okay? And the reason you do that is so that you can relieve the pressure from the hoses, and that'll make it much, much easier. Some of that direction doesn't quite apply to this MSL, but it works perfectly on the non-self-leveling loader, which 98% of you have today. After you've seen the latches latch automatically, you should be able, on the non-self-leveling loader, to run your joystick in all 4 directions, and it won't move very much. It certainly won't let the boom down. Unfortunately, with the mechanical self-leveling loader, that doesn't seem to work right. So I'm thankful I have the single point connector, which allows me to disconnect it under a little bit of pressure. And I can do that right here from the seat. Now, if I had my cab vinyl on, I wouldn't be able to do it from here. But without the vinyl on, I can reach through and do it. There's a bracket that I haven't got installed yet here that's meant to hold this single point connector. It's still on the non-self-leveling loader. I have trouble getting everything done. Okay, the loader is removed, and I can just grab it and move it wherever I want to go. It's really not hard to move around. I was just trying to be careful not to scratch up the tractor, actually getting it right off the tractor. This solution works very well. If you don't have anything on the front of your tractor, I would still recommend parking your tractor right in here to try to save as much space as you can, because this area here is totally unused. However, if you're going to leave the loader off all winter and you want like a blade or a snowblower on the tractor, you can park this over in the corner, and then you can kind of stack other stuff in here. So this space can be utilized for other purposes. Christy noticed first thing that I had the pallet way out here in front. She thought that was a mistake, and it would look like that at first. For the non-self-leveling, it will be different, but you'll have to learn where the best place to put that is. With the self-leveling loader, it worked best for me to have it out in front rather than directly under the bucket. Trial and error, practice, you'll get it right. This is the easiest way to move it, is to pull it like this. And I can put it right over here in the corner. Now, I've shown you the most cost-effective solution to store your loader and keep it rollable. This solution that I'm showing you now works well if you have a set of forks as well as your bucket to store. Put your forks on your loader, set them to the proper width, slide them right in here, right? Set your bucket on top, right? So you leave your forks attached to your loader, set the bucket on top, you can put the lip under here, okay? These casters are much more sturdy. This is heavy steel, it's not going to break. I have found that I have stressed some of these little furniture dollies a little further than I should have, and the wheels sometimes come off the bus. But that's not going to happen with this heavier duty solution. So I always want to show you, the simple solution as well as the best solution. So you can get this at Artillian.com. There is no discount, I'm sorry, but Artillian.com, and they have all kinds of little accessories and attachments that go with their forks, with their grapples, their ROPS accessories, just a lot of helpful stuff for compact tractors. There you go. Let's move to the backhoe. The backhoe can be the most frustrating piece to store because it just seems like it takes up a lot of space. With the subcompact 1025R, it's a lot better than it is with the larger tractors because there's not much that sticks out to the front. Most of the subframe stays on the tractor, so you don't have to have a bunch sticking out to the front. But even then, if you've got a tight storage space, it seems somewhat, difficult or awkward to store. I'm using a simple solution here. It's a slight modification on what I showed several years ago. With my 260 backhoe, the earlier generation backhoe, I used 2 small furniture dollies. I'm still using a small one on the back, but I've moved to using a large furniture dolly on the front. The 260B has a nice flat piece all the way across it, and so I don't have the tendency to tip that I had with the smaller furniture dolly on the 260. So the front end is much improved on my small solution now. And again, these are inexpensive, especially around the holiday season. The small dolly on the back, the casters are probably just not big enough. It's got a little more weight back there than that dolly would like to deal with. But overall, this works pretty good. I'll show it to you rolling around. I've got rocks on my floor and stuff. This is not going to be perfect. And, it's not like you're racing with it. So You know, changes of direction are the hardest thing with anything with what we call crazy wheels on it. So that's why I'm showing you a change of direction a time or two here. Okay. But the backhoe does have pretty good handles on it. Makes it fairly easy to push. I know there's a company that makes dollies, and I know that there's also a build your own dolly with plans on greentractortalk.com. If you guys think it would be highly useful, I could try to build my own dolly with those plans. But to be honest, this works. It works plenty good for me, and I don't know, it's probably, what, $20, $25 maximum, so, and no work. It's simple, and that's the theme of this episode. I've made a major assumption with each of these solutions, and that is that you have a concrete floor that is somewhat smooth in your storage facility. Yeah, I know that a lot of you don't, and so I don't have necessarily a good solution for all of you that don't have concrete floors, but I would say that's a major upgrade that if at all possible you ought to consider, because it really does make life a lot easier when it comes to not just storing your attachments, but storing other items in your shop. We use wheels on nearly everything. I hope you found these solutions helpful. What we've shown you is relatively inexpensive and can really save you a lot of storage space and a lot of pain trying to move things around in your shop. I know there are other solutions. Once you're using your load and go with your deck, we'll show you some of those when we get a chance. So far, we just haven't had the chance to do any of those other solutions. But the deck dolly is a wonderful solution to get your deck up off the ground and get it mobile so that you can move it. Furniture dollies, you can't get more simplistic than that, and they really do the job. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.